Hello, everyone. Welcome to Professionally Unprofessional, the podcast that will now have three very tired British boys that have just woken up from a long night watching the Game
You
Awards.
say just woken up. It's currently 3.
I've only been awake for about 3 hours at this point. I'm joined by my good friends Reese in the middle and Elliot on the right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm cold. I got a cold. Sorry.
yeah. No, he caught it off me. Where we shouldn't have gone to Comic-Con in the state I was in.
We should have gone on a different day so we could have met Cat Icarus.
I agree completely. I wish we'd met Cat Icarus. That would have been awesome. So the Game Awards, we watched it. And of course it's very everyone complaining on Twitter this morning about the please wrap up sign. We were like, I am so glad they're doing that now because we want to go to bed before 5 a.m.
No, I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that they were doing that.
Well, don't forget, they're only doing the 30 seconds for the game developers. The celebrities could waffle on as much as they want.
Yeah, exactly. That's like what I fucking hate about it.
Yeah, I would.
Like, you can't give Larian and AJ Onuma 30 seconds. Mind you, a lot of that time with AJ Onuma was spent translating him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're able to spend 10 minutes sucking off Kojima's dick.
I'm actually going to say I really like the look of Kojima's new game, but so I'll get that out ahead of time. But I will say actually for the Enuma, he absolutely should have got more time because the translator needed time to make sure he got it out correctly.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of say I really.
This year really felt more like a corporate show than any other, really.
It really did, yeah. There were some good moments in it, though. I liked the performance of the old gods of Asgard. That was one of the highlights of the night for me.
Yeah, please tell me you got up to the chapter where that song is relevant.
I got to the first one. I haven't got beyond that, though.
Mate. Okay, I'm just going to say then that song has relevance to one of the chapters. And it is a highlight of the entire year for me, that one chapter.
That song has been in my fucking head all day.
Yeah. How do you think I felt? Yeah. I've had it in for the last month. I'd also like to note that song is 13 minutes long.
Really?
They greatly shortened it.
They played a condensed version of the song. It's like
they cut out like 2 verses.
They're actually because anyone who's now playing it on Spotify or iTunes this morning are going to be really shocked by just how long it is.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. Post of the Falls getting more attention. They are an amazing band.
Can I also add, I really liked Eiji Aonuma showing up with the Tears of the Kingdom shirt.
Yeah.
The replica of the Champion's tunic. That was great.
Would it be funny if he turned up in full Link cosplay with a replica Master Sword?
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the guys in Larian went in full plate mail.
Oh, I love that guy.
Was amazing.
Yeah. Also, he gets a lot of time for his speech. I'm sorry, he just won Game of the Year. You give Game of the Year a good amount of time to give out their speech.
Especially like the time where it said please wrap up was around the time where he was talking about like the developers that they lost. During COVID.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird to think though? Let's talk about. I think it's time to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 winning because it was the big winner on the night. It won 6 awards.
It's not surprising in the slightest.
Do you know? I genuinely thought for a second, partway through, Alan Wake might win this because Alan Wake 2 was the second big winner on the night. It won 3 awards.
Mm-hmm. And or Spider-Man 2 nominated for 7, won 0.
I'm upset by that.
Do you know what
I'm a bit more negative than a lot of other people are with Spider-Man 2, but that's more in the case that I think it's on par with the original game rather than better than it. But yeah, it absolutely should have won like at least a couple of awards.
The one that surprised me on the night, I'm very happy it won one. Hi-Fi Rush won award on the night.
Yeah, thing that upset me the most, Resident Evil 4 didn't win any.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Because I love that game. I wanted to get more. I wanted it to get praise.
Do you know? I'm going to go back to Resident Evil 4 next week because I'm going to play the VR mode. And I reminded me just how much. But revisiting Resident Evil 4 for the purposes of this, it really reminded me how good a game it really is.
Yeah, like the way I heard it described, and this is probably the best way I heard Resident Evil 4 describe it. Your first playthrough is a haunted house. Your every playthrough after that is a roller coaster.
Yes, that's a
like
great description.
The first playthrough is just like you feel like sort of that bit of fear. The rest of the time it's just fun. Like it is probably the most fun game I played this year, honestly.
Okay, so we got. Shall we add to one other thing? I do like the fact there was a spread of awards though, because you got to remember, apart from Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2, only one other game won multiple awards on the night.
That was Zelda, right?
No, Forza Motorsport. Zelda only won one.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Zelda only won Best Action Adventure. Forza Motorsport took 2 awards. It took Best Racing Game and Best Racing/Sports Game and
Accessibility.
Which, considering what they've done with the accessibility in that game, that's great. But out of all the games, it was not the one I was expecting it to win. But no, a good night for Xbox actually, because they took home 3 awards in total. PlayStation took home nothing on the night.
Not Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, well that's technically Square Enix though. I don't think I'd really.
It is PlayStation exclusive, so I feel like it kind of counts.
Okay, so if you stretch it, we count that one.
Yeah.
I would also.
Speaking of, I'm gonna say now, Ben Starr was fucking robbed.
Agreed. Ben Starr was robbed.
He did. Absolutely should have won. Like a lot of people were also saying, the guy who played Peter Parker should have won as well.
Yeah, that was
Yuri
Lowenthal and Ben Starr were the 2 I was hearing on the night. It was going to be close between, but I will say,
like both of those did a fantastic job. But I don't want to shit on the guy who played Asterion. He did an amazing job. But like Final Fantasy 16 is the only thing I've heard Ben Starr in. That performance alone has made him one of my favorite voice actors.
I know that actor played. He was in Xenoblade 3. I can't remember which role was he in Xenoblade 3. I think he was Z. Was he Z?
Ben Starr.
No. The guy who played Astorian in Baldur's Gate 3. He was in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's the one.
I'll have to double check.
But I know he was in that. I tell you one thing though. The thing that I found extremely annoying on the night, the kid that interrupted last year got into the audience again.
Yeah. Funny.
How did security not flag him going in?
I mean, I think they were more keeping an eye on the stage.
That's all well and good, but I think he should have been. I think next year they also need to have better screening process for who's getting in the building.
That actually made me think of something. Do you want to something that really made me feel like this was a corporate show rather than it being a celebration of games? Reggie didn't make a speech.
Yeah, that was definitely noticeable.
He does one like every year, and this year we just like come to him once in the crowd and just like, okay.
Can I?
Like every award was like given by celebrities.
Do you know what it is? To me, it's always been a corporal shill event, but this year it was more It was more at the forefront of everyone's mind just how corporate it is.
Yeah.
And how much it's like to get big time on that stage, you need to get out your checkbook. So I think we need to move on to the review. Actually, before we move on to the reveals, how does everyone feel about Baldur's? We never really said Baldur's Gate 3 winning best game. Is anyone really very disappointed it won?
No, I think it's a good choice for winner.
I would have preferred Alan Wake 2 to win, just because I don't know, it just would have made me really happy. Like a game that went from a cult classic to like winning game of the year, that I love being really good. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's deserved.
I'm gonna say as much as I liked Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't love it. So for me, any one of the other 5 would have been a better choice for me. Like I would have definitely I would have loved it if I'm not going to say which I would have wanted to win because I think it could change in my head, and I'm doing the list for our own award show down the line. By the way, we're adding a new category to the awards this year. I'm going to suggest it to the lads. Best gaming YouTube video of the year.
Oh.
Maybe the trouble is there's just so many.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's I would suggest, but we're adding our own awards, so I have to figure that one out. And in my mind, is part of me thinking, would I vote for? Did the game I voted for? Will that be my game of the year at the end of the year? Because I've replayed Resident Evil 4 recently. I thought, maybe Resident Evil 4 is my game of the year because I really, really like that, and it's got great replay value. But the point is, Baldur's Gate 3, I've played for about 11 hours, and it's not clicking with me. And you got to think, if it's not clicking with you after 11 hours, why would you say, oh, keep going for another 20, that's when it'll get really good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just because there's no point putting that much effort in when you get nothing in return.
I'd say my response on Baldur's Gate 3 is the one, it echoes a very similar response that Cat Icarus had with Death Stranding. So let's go on to the Game Awards, the actual presentation. We're going to skip a few awards videos if we didn't have much to say about the game in question. Or if there's not much we can add to it. So there's a lot of Oculus VR games that showed up, and we obviously don't have any. I don't have an Oculus VR headset. These two don't have an Oculus VR headset. I have a PSVR 2, so all I can comment is, if I like the look of it, I hope it comes to PSVR 2, but none of these indicate a PSVR 2 compatibility.
I'm looking at some of the highlights here from The Verge, and one of them is Jeff Keighley let game developers down.
Ha!
I think because just because there was never any mention for the number of layoffs that happened this year.
There was a protest actually outside the event during it from developers asking for unionization, which I wholeheartedly support their right to unionize. I think there should have been. It's just long overdue that developers get a union.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's start with the first one. Pre-show. Not much to talk about here, but they'll go over them. Remake of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons coming out February 28th. Does anyone remember this game?
I do.
I barely remembered it. Wasn't this an early PS4 game?
Yeah, it was one of the big indie games for the year, I believe.
It feels a bit weird we're remaking a game that's not even 10 years old.
It does. It does have a cult following.
And don't forget, we are seeing remakes of Last of Us 2 that was only 3 years old.
I never said that was a good one. Shame that Baldur's Gate 3 was one game away from matching Last of Us Part 2 for the record.
Yeah.
Next up, game from the Inscription creator, Pony Island 2. Does anyone know what Pony Island 1 is? I
do. It's one of the... How do I describe it? It's... Basically, it's the first one is an old arcade game that is run by the devil. It's very meta, and it is brilliant.
So it's a play on the myths of Polybus.
Yeah, it's Polybius. Yeah,
Polybius, that's it. Yeah.
It's and it's really good. I really, really loved it. So getting a second one is great. And someone or Pro ZD is playing one of the characters in it. Yeah, that was the thing that got my attention in that trailer, because I was a bit mixed on Inscription. I enjoyed it. Pro ZD in the on Twitter even said, "I do apologize for me jump scaring you during that trailer." It does look really good. I'm interested in it. Yeah, I will say I will be keen on trying it out. Sins of Humanity didn't really show much of that, so we can't really talk about that one. Same with the next one. There's another indie game called The Rise of the Golden Idol. Mm-hmm. That was just really a logo. I don't know why that was there. This one actually looked all right, though. It's a game called Unusual June. Comes out in 2025, apparently. Looked all right. Wasn't something that blew my mind.
Yeah.
I will say there's only 2 trailers in the pre-show that actually blew my mind, I will say. Next up, Other than that, Enfield, that one didn't look very good.
No, didn't grab my attention.
The game with the most generic title ever, You Are the Chosen One.
Just sounds like a random isekai title.
Yeah, I was going to say, Elliot, did you? I thought Elliot was the only one who might have something to like about that one.
I'm trying to find like an article with all the announcements, but nowhere has like. Oh, right, never mind, found one.
Put it this way, You Are the Chosen. I tried to type in "You Are the Chosen One" on YouTube. It just came up with all clips of. First thing it comes up with is clips of Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And then I typed in.
I feel like I feel like if it was an isekai title, it will be something like, wait, what do you mean I'm the chosen one, or something like that.
Do you know what else is amazing? They need to come up with a new title, because I just typed in "You Are the Chosen One" trailer on YouTube. It comes up with a religious film on Netflix. It's the top response.
Please tell me it's made by Pureflix.
I think it is actually as well.
Just saw Jesus with a full-on bastard sword.
Next up, Assassin's.
The cross is his blade.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. I mean, I don't want to play an Assassin's Creed VR game, really.
Mm.
So that does nothing for me. And of course, none of us own Oculus Rift, so unless it comes to VR 2, I'm the only one who could even possibly be playing it. Is VR beginning to die down a bit, do you reckon? Do you think everyone's gotten over VR?
Yeah, it's the same thing when we had the craze of the 3D TVs, if you remember that back in the day.
I mean, a couple of people in my dad's family has a MetaQuest. Like my dad has a MetaQuest, for example. He keeps going on about Into the Radius.
Oh yeah, this will be on MetaQuest actually, so he can play this one. But here's the thing: I feel like this would have done better on VR 2, because I feel like Assassin's Creed audience is way more going to be likely have a VR 2 headset than a MetaQuest or an Oculus.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What's the difference? How many Assassin's Creed fans are console exclusive and how many are PC exclusive?
I think after Unity, a lot of the PC audience shifted, and also you got to remember the PC game. The PC really doesn't like the Uplay Plus app. It really fucks with your PC. So most people are getting their if they are buying Ubisoft games on PC, they're buying it through Steam.
Yeah.
This one
I feel like most do that anyway. I feel like most people buy the stuff through Steam.
Next, we got two trailers actually I liked. Harmonium the Musical, a sort of story about a deaf girl going to a sort of music wonderland to create her music.
Gave me major Disney Pixar vibes.
Yes, it does feel like it reminded me a lot of films like Coco and Spirit.
Like kind of like Soul meets the deaf girl from Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yes, that's a good description of it, actually. I'm very excited to see what this one's going to turn out like. So, I think that's coming 2025, that one. But keep an eye on that, because that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Windblown, a new game from the Dead Cells creator.
I'm a big fan of Dead Cells, so I was excited for that.
Same, absolutely the same. Yeah. We can talk for hours.
It looks like it's sort of. It definitely looks like it's sort of more of a multiplayer game than anything else.
It'll hit early access in 2024 on PC. I'm going to be there day one for that one.
It's definitely interested me, yeah.
Yeah, the team behind Dead Cells has given me enough goodwill to jump on board day one for that one. Something about goodwill is going to play a part in some later reveals. Thrasher, again, coming out in 2024. This looked generic as hell.
So generic, I don't even remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be honest, I remember barely any of these.
You'll remember this one though, Elliot. Persona 3 Reloaded got a new trailer.
I know, I looked away, put my headphones on during that. I don't want any spoilers for the game.
I will say, you've played Persona 3.
I haven't played Persona 3.
I thought you played Persona 3 in prep for this.
I haven't beaten it.
Okay.
I played like 6 hours of it.
Well, Persona 3 Real, I will tell you, this one did not give away too much about the plot line wise, but I like the thing I like about it is they're definitely adding a bunch of elements of Persona 5 into the mix, which I think are going to be good quality of life improvements.
I mean, it's Persona 3. I was already sold. As I said, I was one of the people who made a massive stink about the fact that Persona 3 Reloaded wasn't up for most anticipated game. Instead of putting fucking Star Wars Outlaws, which no one's talking about.
Put it this way, Reese is a massive Star Wars fan. He doesn't give a shit about this.
And neither does the Star Wars community. So Persona 3 was robbed.
I would also, can I add...
It legit was. I mean, I still think Final Fantasy would have won, though.
Yeah, can I add Hollow Knight Silk Song could have been nominated there as well? Because like I know he said it's only games that we know about. We know about Hollow Knight Silk Song.
I think, to be exact, it's more about games that have release windows at this point.
Well, what about Elden Ring? Because that won it twice, and that was well before there was any sort of release window. Both times was well before we had any sort of release window.
No, I'm pretty sure one of them was.
2020 was. Well, 2019, it won in 2019. There was no release window at that point. Dave the Diver getting DLC to crossing over with Dredge. That's a great combination. I'm happy with that one. It's out December the 15th. I might give that one a go, actually. I liked both games, so to have a combination of the two. World of Goo 2?
It was something I was not expecting.
Yeah, because it's been how long since the original now?
15 years.
Jesus.
I mean, it was like one of the big WiiWare games. So, hey, I'm happy it's coming back. Like, I'm happy we're finally getting another way to play it.
I'm looking forward to trying that one out, actually, because I thought of all the WiiWare titles to bring back, this was really random.
Nah, it makes sense. As I said, like, of the WiiWare games, I think it's the one that's remembered most fondly.
Better than that Family Go-Kart Mario Kart knockoff coming back. Then we had the final trailer, which I'm very, very excited about. Another look at Metaphor ReFantazio, the game from the Persona creators.
And it's Xbox exclusive. Fuck you.
No, it's not. It's coming to PlayStation 5 as well. Xbox just have the marketing rights for it.
Okay. Thank God. Oh yeah, actually, wait. I saw a pre-order for game. What the fuck am I on about then?
Yeah, no. It will be on PlayStation 5. It's just going to Game Pass day one, and Xbox have the It's a bit like if Xbox have the marketing rights now for Persona 3 Reloaded, despite the fact that will go to PlayStation and Steam. Yeah. And the same. Yeah. So Metaphor again, it's part of this marketing deal that Xbox has made with Atlas for the foreseeable future. I think they're probably going to break that for Persona 6.
Yeah.
I think they want Persona 6 to have that mass audience that they want. Though I'm convinced now Persona 6 will be multi-plat at launch. It will not be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
I feel like at this point it kind of has to. Because when Persona 5 came out, that almost everything in that series was still PlayStation exclusives. Now most of the Persona games are multi-plats.
Yeah.
So I feel like at the very least it'll be like PlayStation exclusive for a very short time.
Well,
we're talking like 6 months at most.
I'd say 12 months absolute max.
Yeah.
Can I add one to the mix though? Metaphor ReFantazio. Holy crap! This is one of my most anticipated games of 2024 now.
It looks fucking great.
Yeah, it's basically Persona meets Fire Emblem again.
But it looks like it's also adding a bit of mix of Nier Automata in the mix, because it's like you're going back and forth between action RPG and turn-based.
Yeah, like I'm wondering how that's gonna work.
I know, but the pedigree as well of the people involved in this project, like Atlas needs to push this to the nth degree, because like I'd say right now, Metaphor is second place on my most anticipated game of 2024 now. I am so hyped to play it after this trailer.
I'd say for me, it's fourth. Like a Dragon, Final Fantasy, Persona 3.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that one. It's actually, I will say Like a Dragon is in my top 5 now after playing more of the Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Again, I fucking told you.
You were right. You were absolutely right. Yeah, Like a Dragon is amazing. So let's move on to the main show. So after we had the jokes about Chris Judd, a long speech, and by the way, he had the zing of the night with my speech will still be.
God damn, his roast to Call of Duty was amazing.
Yeah. That was just, I genuinely was like, whoa, I cannot believe he said that.
Yeah, when he said that, that was like the only time I laughed the night. I was just looking at the presenter for the pre-show. I was just like, that's how you do a fucking joke.
Yeah, you got to piss someone off here. But
first... yeah. By the way, I'm sorry, she was not funny.
No, I know she was trying her best, but it was just not working.
Yeah.
So, shall we talk about the first game? Matthew McConaughey comes out to talk about a game he's in called Exodus, and this trailer showed nothing.
Yep, just a typical CGI trailer.
Showed very brief stuff, and I was just like, what are you trying to make here? You trying to make it like some kind of Mass Effect thing?
Okay. Let's say you didn't look at the press release on Twitter when you woke up this morning.
I didn't.
Let's say you didn't do that. You have no idea what this game is about or what you're going to be doing in it. And I still think even with that, the press release was very vague about what this game is. So all I can say is, glad he picked this to be the opening announcement for the night. If this had been the last announcement on the night, you know, we often they would have been terrible. You know, we often say the Game Awards are usually very good in reverse of what normal presentations are like. This is proof that this year that was not the case, because they picked the right announcement for the first one and the right announcement for the last one.
No, normally they do like one of the big hype ones for the first announcement. Perfect example: Sephiroth in Smash.
Sephiroth in Smash, Hades 2. These are the really good ones. This was a terrible first announcement.
Yeah, I think they just want to show off Matthew McConaughey like immediately.
Yeah, just go like, hey, we've got a famous celebrity in here. Come play the game.
Which is
prepared to see that another 74 times.
And this game is a strikingly similar to a Christopher Nolan film that he was in.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was that?
Interstellar.
Okay.
I was about to say, does anyone else remember Interstellar? Because I remember that being a big deal in the year it was coming out, and then everyone's forgotten it.
I haven't seen it, honestly.
It's good, but it's not worth all the hype, in my opinion.
All right.
You got Matt Damon playing a weird robot.
Yeah. You also have Anne Hathaway coming back.
Yeah.
She's up for an Oscar now, isn't she?
Again, she's won. Yeah. She's already won one.
Which it's just kind of, when you take a look at the fact that she used to be in like Disney Channel movies, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, like what was it? The Princess Diaries, was it?
Yeah.
Princess. I was thinking Ella Enchanted.
Oh, that as well.
I don't remember that.
She wasn't.
It's terrible.
She's also in a Ghibli.
Terrible.
To go off topic a little more, she's also in a Ghibli movie as well.
The Cat Returns.
Yeah, she's in The Cat Returns. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and very underrated movie, I'd say. I think it got buried a little bit because it came out just after Spirited Away. Next up, PlayStation Studios. They finally decided to talk again.
Yep.
They revealed the biggest pop of the audience of the night was when Kratos appeared on camera.
Yeah.
And we're getting a free DLC on December the 12th, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. They're adding a roguelike to God of War.
Yep. And I'll be honest, it's probably the highlight of the night for me.
Yeah, it's definitely got me the most hyped.
I mean, God of War? How can you not love that?
It wasn't the actual announcement that got me hyped about this. What got me hyped about this is it confirms it semi-confirms a rumor that was online from the snitch, because he said there's God of War DLC and a couple of other projects down the line.
Yeah, they did say like we could be getting God of War DLC, but a lot of the people were saying like it was going to be based around Atreus.
From what I've heard, that's now shifted. That might have now shifted development, and they might be doing a spin-off game similar to Miles Morales.
I'd be really up for that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, defo. I feel like if you're gonna soft if you want a soft reboot God of War of Atreus, that's a good way of doing it. Give us a smaller game.
Feel like they would have to change the name though, because it's not about Kratos, the God of War now. If they decide to like, if it's a spin-off show, but if they're like really deciding to shift to something else.
Yeah, and I think call the spin-off God of War Atreus, and then the next game that he's in, just call it Atreus, and then insert subtitle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, God of Mischief. Because that's what Loki is.
Or Son of War.
Son of War, actually. I like the sound of that, yeah. Although it does sound like a bit of a pretentious metal band. December 12th, though, that's a great... I'm going to install that on my PS5. I'm going to reinstall God of War on my PS5. I'll take off...
It's going to be great.
I'm going to take off Mortal Kombat 1 because it's not impressing me. It's taking up so much room of my PS5 now.
No.
I mean...
yeah, because I've already took off mine.
I didn't even get Mortal Kombat. Because, like, you know me, I'm not a fighting game guy. I didn't even get Street Fighter 6 until I saw everyone else getting it.
No,
because I very much suffer from FOMO.
Next up, Big Walk. It's an indie game that's coming out in 2025. I have no...
Made by the Goose Game guys.
Yeah, it's made by the Untitled Goose Game team, and they're good developers, but I don't think this trailer really conveyed what we're doing in this game.
I think is one of those like make your own fun kind of games.
So a bit of an animal...
And you play as a small colony of ants and like just do stuff.
So it's a bit Animal Crossing and stuff with a bit more action in it, do you reckon?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Goose Game was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it did have sort of objectives, but the main thing was just be a dick.
But again, I'm willing to try this one out because I did like Untitled Goose Game.
Mm.
I'm surprised they didn't make Untitled Goose Game 2, to be honest. I actually kind of...
I feel like, in all fairness, I feel like Untitled Goose Game is more just a one-and-done kind of game. Like, I don't really see how you could really make a sequel of that.
Can I...
Because you don't want to drag out like Goat Simulator did.
Yeah, I agree. Can I praise them, though, for this one? I want to praise them for saying, well done, guys, for trying something new. And not just doing
absolutely.
A sequel. So, and for that purposes, I'll keep an eye on Big Walk.
It's got me interested.
Couple of trailers then. Another trailer for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, still coming January. I don't think this trailer told us much of anything.
I think it told us a bit more of the story. It looks all right.
Yeah. Lego Fortnite. This probably would have had more of an impact if it hadn't been shown a couple of days before.
Or if we were 12.
But it's also, do you know what bothered me about this one? It's that the really good Lego games add something new that's only the Lego aspect can deliver to it. Like even Lego Rock Band added something new with the Lego element. I don't see what this is adding to Fortnite.
Just a way to get around the age rating of Fortnite.
Yeah, because Fortnite is already a wacky build your own thing game. I don't see why adding Lego to that changes much of anything.
I feel like maybe with this they could expand like the building part of it, but I don't really see how they could.
Only reason I pay attention to this trailer is he had quite a good remix of Any Way You Want It by Journey. Next trailer though got my attention and then disappointed me. For now, I think my disappointment will be gone in a couple of weeks. But we got a new look at Hellblade 2. Great musical performance.
Yeah.
On stage.
Definitely.
Another good look at the game. It looks amazing.
We've got a release window.
Well, we already had, which we already had beforehand, so this didn't really tell us anything new. And
right, okay.
I think they should have put a release date to it now. I don't think they should have saved it for the Xbox developer, presumably an Xbox developer direct around the end of January. Which we assume they're going to do a developer direct similar to how they did last year, which was the one where they showed off the dates for like Redfall and Minecraft Legends, and then they soft launch, and then they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
So presumably in that they'd say, okay, this is when we'll give you the release date for Hellblade 2. But if they don't plan to do that, why not give the release date now? I feel like that would be especially considering that this is probably the biggest release for Xbox in 2024.
Be the biggest release for the past couple of years.
What about I know I'd argue Starfield was a bigger release in terms of like the scope of what they wanted. Elliot, you've played a bit of the first Hellblade. Did this one?
I haven't played. No, I haven't played any of it.
Have you played Hellblade, Reese?
No, I've not.
Did this convince you that Hellblade might be something worth giving a go?
I mean, Sesuna's Sacrifice has already been on my 2 playlists for a long time, so I'd say this probably would be if I do get around to playing the first Hellblade before then.
I will say if you play the first Hellblade, if you play it with headphones, be aware you're going to have the voices in the character's head whisper right in your ear, and it's going to do your head in very much.
No, that sounds cool to me. I'm up for that.
Yeah, but that's what really made it good for me. I was like, oh my god, this is actually affecting my gameplay, and that's how amazingly immersive it is. So yeah, if you really want immersive aspect, I would say absolutely play it with a headset on. I'm really hoping we get a release date for it in January, but
I mean, we still have like most of the year to get that. I'd say at the latest we're gonna get a Gamescom.
I'd say and from what I'm hearing, according to some reports that have come out, Hellblade 2, the internal reviewers for it are predicting it's going to get a 90+ on Metacritic.
Oh damn!
So Xbox, mind you, that being said, I'm hoping they've hired better internal reviewers than Redfall got, because that was projecting an 80+ that they were getting. Like, I want to find out. I do want to say to Phil Spencer, what yes men did you hire for this? That these guys do not have your best interests at heart.
Maybe
they take.
My guess, they got the guys cheering in the Bethesda, who constantly cheered in the Bethesda E3 conference of 2019.
Oh, that guy, yes. This trailer kind of annoyed me. It got Showtime, and I'll explain why. And not because the person who presented it, she was adorable, but we got a new look Kemuri.
Yeah, I don't know how you could hate the presenter for that.
I don't hate the presenter. She's great.
It's like she's building up on the quirkiness she showed in all the previous ones, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. What I don't like is the practice of this game getting a presentation, because they said before, this game currently doesn't have a publisher. It doesn't have a platform. So this game may never come out at this point. You've got to remember that. I would not, if I was in Jeff's position, I'd say, no, I'm sorry, I don't care how much you want to pay me. You haven't got your ducks in a row. Come back with a publisher, come back with a platform, and then I'll present it. Because at this point, especially, I even would have accepted a Kickstarter. That would have made more sense if there was a Kickstarter. At least there's some money there. But I would advise people at that point, we don't have a publisher or a platform yet. Be aware when you give your money that if this has a flexible
I might have done it just as a promotion for publishers to like maybe get them on.
That's really what this is. This is like all the publishers are in the room. Capcom, Square Enix, do you want it?
Yeah.
I reckon I've got a weird feeling about this one. I think Microsoft is going to make a bid for this.
They haven't been buying everything else.
Well, I don't think they're going to want to buy it. I think they're going to want to just say, you know what, we want to take a chance on this. We want to get ourselves in the Japanese market. Here's some money. We'll take Kemuri as a Game Pass deal.
I mean, they're already doing that with having Yakuza on Game Pass.
Yeah, Sega is where they're really going with their Japanese market, because they're doing it with the Atlas games and the Yakuza games. So, I mean, what do you think of the look of Kemuri, though?
Don't really say anything about it. Yeah, because we just got a teaser trailer right now. All I can tell is a co-op, maybe multiplayer. Like, play kind of thing.
I really hope it's not that, because I am
like it kind of looked like Monster Hunter meets Persona in a way.
I really hope it's not like an Overwatch type game, because there's so many of those now that you just don't want to try any of them, because you know it's going to collapse in a few months.
Yeah.
So next game up, it's a game called. It's a game from one of my favorite studios, Moon Studios, who made the Ori games.
This game, that game looked very different to Ori.
Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked, it's called, and it looks good.
Yeah.
It really drew my attention. Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have a release date at this point, but we're going to get more information on it in a presentation on March the 1st. So I imagine something will get some more. But I love the fact that they said, look, we don't have anything concrete right now, but we'll give you a date when we'll have something more concrete. That's the way. That's the kind of thing I want at the Game Awards. Guys, what did you think of the look of this one? I'll start with you, Elliot.
Yeah, it looked really good. It looks like very grimdark and whatnot. So right up my alley.
Reese?
Yeah, it looks really interesting. The art style reminds me a little bit of earlier World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there definitely is a bit of a Warcraft feel to this one. It's very different to Ori, I can tell you that. When you got that completely right, Elliot. So brilliant looking game. For the love of God, hook it to my veins.
It'll be interesting to see if this is a sequel to Ori. That'll be a very weird universe.
This is what happens after the forest burns down. We just see Ori's corpse hung on a wall or something like that.
I can't give away how Ori 2 ends, so I can't tell them that wouldn't be possible. But oh god, no, that's not. It could be a stealth sequel to Ori, but it wouldn't be. But
like how Sea of Stars was the stealth prequel to The Messenger.
To The Messenger, yeah, which doesn't make sense until you get to the end portion of it, and even then, it doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, if you're asking me, making it a prequel to The Messenger kind of ruins it. Because I added that story bit, which I really did not like. The story to that game was crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the story is terrible in Sea of Stars. I'm with you on that one. Legion, they showed a bit more of the Legion Go, that handheld is linked to Game Pass. Kind of similar. It's a cloud one that's kind of similar to the PlayStation Portal, and I think we're all agreed. None of us would even remotely come close to buying this.
Nah, it just looks like they're making their own Switch.
Yeah,
it's just stop right there. Now we knew Sega was coming, because they sent out that invite saying a new era. It's about to begin. And they didn't come with one game. They came with 5.
Well, to be more exact, they came with an announcement that 5 games are in development.
Yeah, but we also saw footage of all 5 of them, and some of them look like they're not that far off. Particularly Jet Set Radio. That one looks like it's not far off.
Yeah.
But the 5 games are... the 5 games they said they're going to try and bring back in some fashion. Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and Shinobi. Now, Streets of Rage already came back briefly with the Streets of Rage 4, which was great. So to see more of that is excellent. But, oh my god, Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, those 2 coming back is awesome. They didn't give me the one that I really wanted, but they gave me 2 of the ones I really wanted, and that's awesome.
Why? Which ones did you really want?
I wanted a Skies of Arcadia remake.
Yeah, I didn't really see that happening. That's definitely more niche than the other ones. But
of the 5 that are there, these are all really good titles, and it shows an intent for Sega that they are looking at their old franchises to say, there's something here, let's give this a go.
Yeah, at first, when I saw that at first, I thought it was just going to be, oh great, are they going to announce like another collection? Is that the big announcement? Oh, introducing the Dreamcast collection again.
Do you know, I wouldn't have been that disappointed if we had a Dreamcast collection. There was more than one.
I would have been. Them hyping all that up and then all of a sudden saying you're going to get Jet Set Radio again. That being said, Jet Set Radio on Switch, I'm not against.
No, and to be fair, considering I was a little disappointed by the Cyberpunk one, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. I know the one you mean.
That one.
I was watching you stream that.
Yeah, considering I was a bit disappointed by the fact that one, the layout's a bit confusing and they don't make it very clear what you're supposed to be doing. To have Jet Set Radio come back now is awesome.
Watch Calvin's Thursday live streams, by the way, guys. They have streamed 3 games on Thursday so far and not beaten a single one.
We will beat Like a Dragon. I promise you we'll beat Like a Dragon.
You fucking better.
No, I'm hooked now. I've got to finish. I've got to see the ending of this. What about Crazy Taxi? How do you guys feel about Crazy Taxi coming back?
That's cool.
Yeah, I was never the biggest fan of Crazy Taxi.
Do you know what? When me and Elliot went to that Comic-Con, they had
a Crazy Taxi arcade machine.
And it's not an emulation, it's the original machine because they had the product placements for like Pizza Hut and KFC and Levi's in there. So it was amazing to play it again. And then I went back to try it one more time. They turned off the machine.
Oh,
it was like...
It's okay. We got to play Guitar Hero 3.
Oh, yeah, that was great playing Guitar Hero 3 again with Elliot. That was awesome. We each picked a song by our favourite bands. And
I proceeded to destroy him in all of them.
Yeah, he did.
Well, not quite destroyed. He worked close when we played Stricken.
What about so I never actually got you. What do you guys? What's your opinion, Reese, on Jet Set Radio?
Yeah, I did play a lot of that back in the day, and I really enjoyed it.
I would add the one that got me excited the least out of these was Golden Axe. I'm not a huge Golden Axe guy.
I mean, a lot of people do like it.
Yeah, but it's quite archaic when you go back to like, the original arcade ones.
I do have fond memories of playing multiplayer with people on that one, but let's not remind ourselves. I think it was the Xbox 360 or original Xbox game, which the only thing anyone remembers about it is that character saying, "Buy my balls!"
Oh, yeah, the Gritty remake.
Yeah, that was a bad game.
Gritty.
Gritty in inverted commas.
Mm-hmm.
But Shinobi, I thought, looked particularly good. That one coming back looks awesome.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when you first said that, I thought, wait, don't FromSoft over that? Oh, no, that's Tenchu.
So, a lot of good games here. The thing about it for me as well is it says that Sega's really branching out and trying a bunch of new ideas. They're not just resting on their laurels with Sonic, Total War, Yakuza, and Persona and Angry Birds.
I was gonna say SMT rather than just Persona.
Yeah, we'll say the SMT franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
So, but it's I remember I had to put Total War in there because Elliot thought Yakuza was definitely one of the highest. Would be the second highest financial gaining for Sega, and I thought it was Persona. It's actually Total War.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yakuza is like number 4, I think. Which I just think
was number 4.
That was shocking because like of all the Sega franchises, that's like one of the most talked about ones. Like you go online, who the fuck talking about Total War?
I also found it amazing that Total War makes that much money on a PC only.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So next thing to talk about, Dragon Ball Sparking Rage.
Oh, now this I'm very excited about.
Yeah, when they said, at first I thought they were going to announce another Budokai Tenkaichi.
Well, that's what this is, basically.
Yeah, this is
it's by the same developers who did Budokai 1 to 3.
I was expecting like a Budokai 4 to be announced, so...
I think this is Budokai Tenkaichi 4, really.
Yeah, it's just that, but with a Japanese title. Because Budokai Tenkaichi, all the Japanese releases all had sparking in the name.
Oh, okay.
So it's like how we had Yakuza, but they always had Like a Dragon. And now we've got Like a Dragon. So now we've got Budokai Tenkaichi. We've now got Sparking 0.
I see. So it's a case of we're doing basically what Sega's currently doing with Like a Dragon is what we're now doing with Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah, but they're bringing back the original studios who did the Budokai Tenkaichi games as well. Spike.
How many of the people that worked on the Budokai Tenkaichi games are still at Spike is my wonder at this point.
Probably not a lot, because they last did Dragon Ball, it feels like 2007 or 8 for the Wii.
But they made really good Dragon Ball games, so I'm dead excited to see what this is like.
Same. And the gameplay alone looks so fast, it's going to break your control playing it.
I keep meaning to play like some of the Dragon Ball games. I have Dragon Ball Fighter Z on through PS Plus for like a long time now. I never got around to it though.
That just got rollback netcode, so online's actually fun now.
Actually, I will say, can I add on Fighter Z is my favorite of the Dragon Ball fighting games, if I'm honest. And I know I'm weird in saying that, but that's my personal opinion.
It could be worse. It could have said Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Oh, that would have been a controversial thought, but
or Dragon Ball Kinect.
Oh my God, no! I dodged a bullet with not buying that one. Yeah. Can I add to the thing though? Which was the game? What's the game that Josh Scorcher always complains about? The one where Whis and Beerus have super armor all the time. Have super armor, and it's really impossible to take them down. It's the one where they do the time travel plot line of someone fucking with the timeline. So go.
That's not Kakarot, is it?
No, that's Xenoverse.
Xenoverse, that's it. Don't do what they did. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Don't do that. Just do a really good.
Yeah, because that's sort of like with 3D Fighter. I knew it wasn't Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
So this is all I can say is seriously good decision. For this one,
congratulations! This is the longest I've ever talked about Dragon Ball ever. I seriously need to watch that show.
We'll put it. When we next do our first 3 episodes, I'll give it to you as your choice, Elliot.
Only as long as I can give you Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh yeah, defo. I want any excuse to watch that.
Sweet.
Casting of Frank Stone. What the hell is this game?
It's a single player Dead by Daylight, from what I can tell.
Oh yes, yeah. Now I remember. It was the Dark Picture Anthology devs making a Dead by Daylight single player game.
Oh, it's those guys.
Yeah. So it's
I had no idea. Because I had no idea who that was. For a second, I thought it was like the antagonist from My Bloody Valentine or something.
No,
like
it's a Dead by Daylight universe, and it's Supermassive Games developing the game. Comes out next year. I imagine that's in place of a Dark Pictures Anthology game or something like The Quarry. My hope is they'll make it as long as The Quarry. And if so, I could see myself streaming that one because I really enjoyed streaming The Quarry with you guys.
Yeah, that's it. We got that Halloween stream sorted. Get ready for 8 hours of Calvin complaining about the racist character again.
Oh God, I'm looking forward.
How the fuck was he one of the characters who ended up surviving?
More the point. How did he get?
And more importantly, how did he end up becoming kind of likable at the end?
Yeah, I was about to say, can we not make? I was kind of thinking, can we not make the racist character this likable, please, and have legitimate reasons for not legitimate reasons to be racist, but legitimate reasons for why he's paranoid and signed up to fight a war and realized actually I don't know what I'm fighting for. I've been completely wrong this whole time.
Directed by Michael Bay.
What I've done. But I'm seriously excited for casting of Frank Stone. Visions of Mana, the highlight of the night for me.
Yeah, you know what? When I saw the trailer, when I saw the character design, my first thought was, "Is this a Mana game?" And then it said Visions of Mana. I was just like, "I fucking called it."
Yeah.
Like, oh my...
I'm not even that well versed in the Mana series.
So, CM Punk is back in WWE, and Square Enix has gone back to the Mana series. Hell really has frozen over.
All we need is for Nintendo to release a Golden Sun game, and I'm happy.
Well, hell's frozen over, so I think the chances of that have gone up. But all I can say is, compared to like the Trials of Mana remake, which is obviously this is built off of in some fashion. This looks. I quite like the Trials of Mana remake, but this looks so much better.
As long as it's not like that Secret of Mana remake, which I heard it was not good.
Not very good, no. Especially on PS4, it was really designed with the PS Vita in mind, and then when it went to PS4, it did not go so well.
So basically, Jak and Daxter the Lost Frontier, then.
Pretty much, yeah. But wow, Visions of Mana looks so good. I am dying, hooked this one into my veins. I am dying to play this in 2024. Reese, what about you? Have you played much of like Secret of Mana or Trials of Mana?
I only played the very original one. What was on the SNES, was it?
Yeah. I mean, you can get all three of them on the Switch on that, and a couple of other consoles, I think, or the collection of Mana.
Yeah, I've not got the collection. Well, I did enjoy it back in the day.
I got the collection and I got the Trials of Mana remake, and both of those are excellent. I particularly enjoyed the Trials of Mana remake. So to see that they looked at that and said, "Do you know what? There's something here," that gives me a lot of hope for other Square Enix franchises. So Chrono Trigger's next.
Yeah. Well, Chrono Cross did just get that port.
Yeah, but that wasn't as well received, that one.
No.
But
I mean, obviously, the main thing I'm hoping from Square is Dragon Quest 12.
Well, that's down the line, Elliot. I would say I think next year they'll start talking about Dragon Quest 12.
I certainly hope so. By that point, it would have been 7 years since Dragon Quest 11.
We've got to remember, when we come to June, let's look at June E3 time. By that point, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is out. What is the other big Square Enix release coming? It's Visions of Mana. Now, They don't really have much else other than that. They'll want to have a big buzz. What other big buzz are you going to be if you re-reveal Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D and Dragon Quest 12 and say these are our pipeline plans for Dragon Quest? You're going to get a big talking point. So I would say next year, almost certainly, we will see Dragon Quest again.
I thought you would have been saying Final Fantasy 9 remake.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that's a thing.
You're the big Final Fantasy 9 fan of us.
But yeah, we had a whole stream about it where you cheated mercilessly.
You got to remember though, Final Fantasy IX Remake, that's a supplementary title for Square Enix. They're not looking at Final Fantasy IX Remake as a huge deal. They're looking at it as this will keep the window going between games.
Yeah.
I hate to say that because 9 is my favorite, but 9 is not even the Square. The only way 9 was ever going to remain like a huge fixture of Square Enix's history was if Hironobu Sakaguchi remained at Square Enix, because that was his favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know if that quote. I will say, just for the record, because obviously things going around about this. If he was taken out of context for that quote, I do apologize on that one. But last I heard, he was on record as saying 9 was his favorite. PlayStation Studios, they're coming back. Rise of the Ronin. This one we've always been quite curious about.
I've noticed through this actually there's a lot of Asian-inspired games coming out.
Yeah, it's I definitely noticed that PlayStation seems to want to refocus a little bit on their Japanese market.
I'm gonna assume maybe that's after the success of Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't know how well that sold in Japan. I think it sold quite well, actually.
I mean, more just
that team was make Ultra ambassadors. It must have sold well.
Yeah, I mean more just because of the general how well received it was.
Looked very well received.
Because I mean, after all, it should have won. I do still stand by. It should have won Game of the Year.
I will say, Elliot, Ghost of Tsushima is one I was very much a big fan of. So Rise of the Ronin to me, though, that means because Ghost of Tsushima is still fresh in our memories, it's got a tough hill to climb.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
It looks really good. We're getting it sooner than I thought. March 22nd.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys.
In that case, we have a chance to try and beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth before that comes out. Then.
Oh, I'm gonna just play that with the exception of when I go to pretty much when I go. No, actually, I don't have any Pokemon tournaments in March, so I probably will just be able to go all out on
Right.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I'd like to note, viewers, you have no idea the pain it is during Calvin's live streams, because he spent the whole year constantly talking about the Game Awards. Every time a new game came out, it would always spark up a new conversation about it. Then in the last couple of months, where the time where it's been fully appropriate to talk about the Game Awards, he talks about fucking Pokemon nonstop. Nothing but.
Because I like getting advice off the people that know their stuff when I can get it. The game but Rise of the Ronin looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I mean, I'll be interested to see how that one goes down, especially considering that it looks like PlayStation's year next year is very dominated by the third parties at this point.
Yeah.
You ever notice? Look at the 3 big releases they have at the start of 2024. Only one of them is a Sony is made by an actually Sony owned studio. The others have been licensed for timed exclusivity, which are Rise of the Ronin and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The only other one they have is Helldivers 2. I'm interested. I want to know what Sony's plan is for 2024. Are they taking it a bit lighter next year? Next up, the Outlast Trials. That's gonna launch on March the 5th.
I forgot that wasn't already out by now.
Same actually.
Same.
That doesn't.
But I just forgot that even existed.
There's then we went to the big reveal for Hideo Kojima's Xbox game, because he's working on Death Stranding for PlayStation. He's now working on this game for Xbox. He's revealed the title is OD, and there's a weird looking trailer, and Jordan Peele's working on it with him.
Can I be entirely honest? This is probably one of the worst trailers for a game I've seen. It showed nothing.
Yeah.
Like, even teaser trailers show off a little bit. This showed fucking nothing.
I'm seriously wondering, though, what has Kojima thought up that's using cloud gaming as a big function? Because this was the one he pitched to Google Stadia before that all collapsed, and I think they said no in the end.
Yeah.
But, so he's now working with Xbox using the xCloud as that one. This is a big get for Xbox to have a Kojima Productions game, possibly exclusive to their format and using their xCloud service. But Elliot is right. They didn't really convey what kind of game this is going to be. I've heard some rumors that it's going to involve, you give like your email address and you're going to get real world emails that will affect the game.
Because that can only end well giving away private information to companies.
Yeah, I was going to say there's
Yeah, I was about to say, have they not learned anything from what happened last E3?
Mm-hmm.
I think they also need to, but I'm interested with Jordan Peele being on the team. Because I really like his movie, so I'm wondering what his contribution to this is going to be.
Probably adding to the horror aspects, probably.
Yeah, Jordan Peele knows how to do good horror, though. He's very good at pacing an atmosphere.
Yeah, and very psychological.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I can say is he did a better job selling his love of Kojima than Chris Pratt sold his love of Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent my childhood exploring Shadow Moses.
Next reveal, I think you guys will probably be a bit more interested in this one. A new Jurassic Park game that's sort of a pseudo sequel to the first movie. How many of those games have we had now that are sequels to the movie?
Yeah, it's Alien Isolation all over again.
It's called Jurassic Park Survival, and I'm dead excited for it.
Yeah, it appears to be a PS5 exclusive as well.
I wish it was a horror.
Well, it might be later on if you fail the action sequences.
I mean, it's meant to. Apparently, it's a survival game, but I just think it would have worked better if they tried going kind of like the Dino Crisis sort of route, like made it like a sort of like a horror game more than anything.
I think
because that's in some way like kind of what I see the original as. Like it was a bit of a horror.
Yeah, Jurassic Park has very big horror elements to it. It's the basic. Steven Spielberg's genius with Jurassic Park is he basically sold a family-friendly horror movie.
Yeah. Which I feel I kind of wish the film. I kind of wish this game could have been. I also kind of hope they don't make this new character a bit of a Mary Sue. Otherwise, it really will basically be like fan fiction.
Well, did you guys play the Telltale game of Jurassic Park?
Literally, the only Telltale game I played was The Walking Dead. Actually, I did play Batman.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. They basically did a sequel where a vet you played swapping between a vet that got left behind when they evacuate the island and one of Nedry's backups that trying to retrieve the dinosaur DNA for the rival company, which would explain why Dodson, we got Dodson here was in Jurassic World 3.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite lines in that movie. Don't look up what the actor who played Dodson went to prison for.
Oof, no.
Yeah, I heard he went to prison for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
The one time in the franchise, people don't mind a recast.
Yes. Next up, Rocket Racing, the Rocket League Racing spin-off, comes out to the day we recorded this, December 8th.
I mean, you might as well just call it Fortnite Kart.
Yeah, it's Fortnite Kart, let's be honest.
There's so much Fortnite in that.
And honestly, it does nothing for me.
Yeah. Or if it's like going to be a... I would say this, though. If it is like so meant to be, this Epic Games kart thing, there could be a chance that we could drive as Alan Wake.
Or
that would be hilarious.
Or another one, we could drive as... they could do Fall Guys content in there as well. Forgot that's owned by Epic Games.
Not as funny as being able to drive as Alan Wake.
No, you're absolutely right. Especially if you can.
I want to be able to drive through Bright Falls. Come on, give it to me.
Oh, please let them do that. I will actually pick up the game with there's Alan Wake content in it.
Absolutely.
Next up, the Wukong game.
Yeah, so that got a new trailer. It was shown off a few years back.
Yeah, we've seen that Wukong game for quite a while now. It's got a release date.
It looks interesting.
It's got a release date of August the 20th. I don't know about you. It gave off a little FromSoft vibes when I was.
I mean, it is basically a journey to the West meets Dark Souls.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully. The thing I like now is there's a lot of people that have looked at the Dark Souls formula and figured out how to get it right. Lies of P is a perfect example of that.
There are still some that don't entirely get it right, i.e., Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm like the fact that some people are starting to learn it and get it right. I'm hoping that Wukong falls into that category.
I say another one that gets it right. Wulong Fallen Dynasty.
Wulong Fallen Dynasty does it quite good. I found that game a little too difficult for my early on for my liking.
At the same time, it takes a lot of inspiration from Sekiro, and you said you're not very good at Sekiro.
I'm terrible at Sekiro. I will freely admit that. The next thing up. Another trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League coming out the same day as Persona 3 Reload. So no chance any of us playing it.
Looks okay.
I still don't care.
It looks fine, but yeah, I'm not. But yeah, Persona 3 is going to have my full attention.
Okay, very hot take.
Actually, that and Grand Blue Fantasy.
Okay, the hot take for me has always been with superheroes, has always been the Suicide Squad is a terrible concept.
Yeah.
And I've never really liked much of the Suicide Squad stuff. I've always found it weird that DC shifted from Secret Six, which was a brilliant comic by Gail Simone, to doing Suicide Squad. And this doesn't look like it does anything for me either. Like, the gameplay looks generic as hell. And I've looked at this, I said, I cannot believe Rocksteady said yes, that this was the idea they wanted to do. This is an idea so out of date that it's doomed from the start.
Yep.
I think this is. I'm going to be a bit down on this one. I think this is the end of Rocksteady Studios. I think this will be their last game because I think they're not going to make their money back on this, and it's going to force a studio closure. They've already had the two founders leave the company to do something else.
Mm.
So
I don't think it'll completely kill the company. I think it'll probably get bought by someone.
So you think Warner Brothers are going to sell Rocksteady to someone else?
Yeah, if this doesn't give a good enough return on investment, yeah.
All I'm going to say is Microsoft. I know you won't get any franchises with them. Microsoft probably won't do it because they won't get any franchises with it. But I could see Sony buying Rocksteady.
I would find it funny if Xbox did buy them, because we have Sony making a lot of Marvel stuff. So we have Xbox making a lot of DC stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that would just be fun.
Well,
That'd just be funny.
Actually, I kind of like your idea on that one and get Rocksteady to make a bunch of Xbox exclusive DC stuff. But then you've got to then go to Warner Brothers again because Warner Brothers owns DC.
Yeah.
So you've still, but I think Warner Brothers, if they're going a good pitch.
Who's making that Wonder Woman game?
God, it's I know that's a single player game.
Yeah.
Is it Warner Brothers who owns them?
Yeah, Warner Brothers owns all of DC Comics and all of its characters.
Sick.
Wonder Woman game. Let's see.
No, you move on to the next one now and look it up.
Okay, yeah, fine, fair enough. Warframe Whispers in the Wall. It's an update to Warframe. I don't play Warframe, so this didn't do anything for me.
I mean, I played a bit of Warframe. It looked pretty cool.
It's a decent update. Comes out December the 13th. The studio revealed their next game, Ready or Not. Looks.
I don't remember that one.
No, that one didn't stick with me at all.
Monolith Soft. Sorry, Monolith Productions.
Monolith Productions is doing Wonder Woman.
No.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, they have confirmed it's going to be a single player experience.
Yeah.
So I've got more confidence in the Wonder Woman.
What did they actually make?
They have done a few things over the years.
They made the Middle Earth games.
Ah.
That's cool.
Okay, yeah, I can see. I can see.
I like those. I like the Middle Earth games. So yeah.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman's going to have the Nemesis system in it.
That would be funny.
Another game, Tales of Kenzazar.
Oh yeah, this was that African-inspired game. That looks really good.
It looks very good, and I've definitely butchered the pronunciation, so I apologise for that. And Abukar Salim, I apologise if I mispronounced your name, gave a very heartfelt speech when he was introducing it.
Yeah, this one.
And I will say,
this is the kind. The thing is, that's the kind of like celebrity speech we won at the Game Awards. Like someone talking about like what gaming means to them, rather than just someone coming up and saying, "Games exist, games cool."
Now give me a paycheck.
So I will say, this one, I will say his passion for this game is very inspired, and I hope it does well in April when it comes out.
Yeah,
I might pick this one up actually because it did have a look of a very interesting concept for a game.
It reminded me a lot of the details of Ori we've seen with that very colourful art style.
Oh yeah, I see where you're going with that one. A game called a game from the Life is Strange devs, The Lost Records, comes out late 2024.
I think Stephen King's going to be having some words with them.
Why?
Because they said, at the very end, it said, it's been 27 years. Why are we back? Because we made a promise. That's literally what happens in It.
That's the plot of It.
Yeah, exactly. Just Oh, they made a promise to come back to somewhere 27 years later. That's literally it. Are they going to be fighting fucking Pennywise?
Oh, I'd love it if this was secretly a It game, and they've just been playing us the whole time. But I don't think that is the case.
I mean, I'm gonna be a bit kind of optimistic with this one and say maybe we're gonna get like a better story with them moving away from Life is Strange. The whole emotion powers kind of thing.
Yeah, so you no longer play the supervillain of the story.
Yeah, and you're not gonna be try and be deep. Like it kind of looks like definitely looks like they're going down a horror route with this one, kind of.
Can I put the next one to you, Elliot? Because I saw the trailer for this and thought this looks like it's up Elliot's alley.
Okay.
First Berserker Kazan.
Oh
yeah, that one looks good.
It does look very good. Yeah, I like the look of the cell shaded look, and the boss fights look very interesting. I'm kind of wondering what we're getting with this game.
Mm.
Same.
Then we got a musical performance that led into a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Still looks very good.
The performance was really good. I'm so happy they're giving Aerith a musical number.
Yeah, and it's and also we got after the show we got some promotional art featuring the entire cast,
which is really nice.
Yeah,
and I cannot wait to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I just really cannot wait to play it. It looks so good. So that, I mean, do you guys have anything to add to this at this point?
Not really. It's Final Fantasy. Looking forward to it. Yay.
Yeah, they hinted at a famous spoiler at the very end.
All I'll say, prepare for me to simp the living hell out of Vincent. Because again, emo vampire voiced by Matt Mercer.
And Vincent's full character art got shown off as well. And he's wearing even more belts now.
Actually, we also did see Sid.
Yeah, we saw this. And he was the last character for us to see out of all of them. And
so we're going to be getting the full cast in this game.
It does look, to what I gathered, it looks like they're doing what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake again. They're taking what they have and they're expanding on it.
Yeah.
Because fleshing it all out.
Yeah.
I'm all for.
And I am definitely telling you, they are going to change that ending. That this time, I firmly believe Aerith is not dying this time.
Well, the very last shot of the trailer, it's her kneeling down in the church, and you see that black feather go in front of her. So they were teasing it.
They're teasing it, but I think but remember, they said this is the new unknown story, and we got to wonder, how is that going to play a role in this one now that he is alive in this universe?
Yeah.
Well, he also announced a collab with Apex Legends with Final Fantasy VII on January 9th.
Don't care.
With art done by Nomura.
Nomura's artwork is great, but I still don't.
It's just Nomura. It's always going to be great artwork.
Yeah, Nomura is one of the greatest game artists ever. If not the GOAT.
It's telling that he originally started off as like a character designer for Square.
Yeah.
I just love his art, but again, I don't play Apex Legends, so it doesn't do anything for me. New trailer for Honkai Star Rail, giving off a new location. I would be into this if it wasn't a gacha game.
Yeah.
I don't know. As I keep saying, Honkai Star Rail does intrigue me a bit more than Genshin Impact does.
I know what you mean, because
I might give it a go at some point. I might.
Same, because the concept is interesting. This idea of traveling between various worlds on intergalactic train.
I'd like to know though, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius did that first.
They also Final Fantasy Unlimited kind of did that. Anyone else remember that anime?
Which one?
No.
Final Fantasy Unlimited. It's the one with
I know that was a manga at first. I don't remember that being an anime.
It's the manga was a sequel to the anime.
Ah.
Yeah, it's about a couple of kids that wandered to a place called Wonderland. and they met a guy who was basically an even more emo version of Vincent, who had a gun for a hand that he used to summon the Aeons.
So basically, they combined Sid with Barrett and Yuna.
Yep. And then added a bit of Alice in Wonderland imagery to it.
Sorry, they combined Vincent, Barrett, and Yuna.
Yeah, it's basically they combined those three characters to make their lead, and they had some very interesting ideas. I think it's really over hated, that anime. I think there's a lot of good elements to it.
Obviously I never saw it.
There's another for the first 3 episodes. If you can never find a copy of the DVD because it never got a Blu-ray release, Square is trying to bury the shit out of that one. Skull and Bones got a release date now, February 16th.
Which probably won't mean much because it'll just get delayed yet again.
Please just bring this game out. I am so sick of this game constantly being delayed. I really want them to bring the game out, seriously now. Because it's getting boring. The only reason they haven't cancelled this thing when they should have is the fact that they owe the Singaporeese government their investment money.
Yeah.
Next up, Arcane Studios came out. And now I knew Arcane was good. Thanks to Nate That Hates Podcast, I knew Arcane was revealing something. I did not expect it to be a game based on Blade.
Yeah, holy shit.
Set in France.
Well, it's made by Arcane Leon, so that's not too surprising.
Like a Marvel game, not by Insomniac? What?
Considering this is the team behind Deathloop and Dishonored, I'm quietly confident on this one. I mean, I don't really like.
I'm more interested because they've both been first-person games, and Blade I feel like will work best as like a third-person hack and slash.
Yeah. But yet again, we've got a Blade who's not actually British.
Yeah, again, it does feel a bit weird with that choice, but because we've now had Mahershala Ali and Wesley Snipes playing him. Mahershala Ali hasn't had a chance to properly play him yet.
Apart from one voice line in the Eternals,
which is a film that Marvel even wants us to forget.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out there and say...
I'm very interested in seeing who they've cast as Blade in this game, though. Because that would be cool. Because I associate Blade so much with Wesley Snipes.
I'm dead excited to see what Arcane does with this one. And they haven't confirmed yet whether or not this will be an Xbox exclusive.
I hope it's not.
Same. I really hope it's not.
It could go either way, knowing Microsoft. Marvel might have stipulated in the deal.
As long as it also comes up on Steam, I'll be happy.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. If Xbox put all their games on Steam.
Yeah.
But
which also means I'm gonna need to get a U gaming laptop even more now. If there's so many Xbox games coming out.
Marvel though might have put a stipulation saying this has to go multi-plat.
Yeah.
Nowhere said that this was an Xbox exclusive, but it does mean that if it does come to PlayStation, there will be a whacking big Xbox Game Studios logo when you boot it up. I always find that weird when you see the logo of the rival console on the other system. Like if you put MLB The Show on Xbox or Switch, it comes up with a PlayStation Studios logo. Still waiting on seeing that with Nintendo. I'm still waiting on that to happen. The game Lost Sentinel. It's made by Lightspeed Studios, a bunch of ex-Rockstar devs.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, looks pretty good actually.
Not sure what it is, but I'm curious. The First Descendant coming in summer.
That was just another CGI trailer.
Yeah, no idea what this was about, especially considering this is due in the summer. I think they need to get their bags in order.
Yeah.
ZZZ, aka Zero Zoneless.
Yeah, ZZZ. The works perfectly for my reaction to that announcement.
Yeah, it's another game from Hollowverse that doesn't really interest me that much.
Yeah, you can Warriors Hotel that was made by the Genshin guys.
Then Reese woke up because it was Mecha Break.
Yeah, this was really good until I found out more about the game. So it's by a studio who only does phone games before, and now Mecha Break is going to be multiplayer only, no solo. Minimum teams of 3, and it has a battle royale mode.
Oh no!
It's just a really bad live service game that probably won't even last a year, in my opinion.
Oh no, not even starting it. Sorry, the second you tell me it's a live service game, like I'm not starting because you're going to be dead within 2 years, and I'm going to waste all my money if I even try it.
Yeah, and this is the studio's first major console game.
So no, that's a no from me. Next up, another trailer of Helldivers 2 comes February 8th. Helldivers 2 doesn't really suit me all that much, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. To me, this feels like it would get more of an audience if it was a part of your PlayStation Plus subscription. Like, if you were on extra tier, you could download this one. Similar to what happened with Stray.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like...
So at the same time, I feel like Stray already had, like, a bit more appeal because, well, you got to play as a cat.
Yay!
Kitty!
I mean, I'm curious to see how Helldivers 2's reaction is when it comes out on February 8th. One for Ren, Warhammer Space Marines has a release date of September.
Well, it does mean he'll have to get a PS5.
I think he might actually do it for that. GTFO has a free weekend trial, and they also showed off their new game Den of Wolves.
Which seems like from what I could tell, a heist game based in like a sort of space sci-fi universe.
Oh yeah, another heist game. I'm not getting.
I mean, it being based in like space seems interesting.
Yeah, the space setting, I admit, does a bit of does have an interesting edge.
Like, just imagine all like the technology and gizmos you can use to sort of get through. That does sound pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, let's just say it's more stable, at least than Payday 3 was.
Yeah.
Next one, X-Born. I got nothing from this.
Yeah, I forgot about this one as well.
Yeah, same. Then Elliot woke up because Matt Mercer came on stage.
Yep. I literally my first thought when I saw him was, but doesn't he do a Critical Role? It's Thursday night, guys.
He came to show off his role in the upcoming Asgard's Wrath, comes out on December 15th.
As Loki. And the second I heard his voice, I just thought, yep, that's definitely Matt. That's Matt Mercer.
I liked his I like what he brought to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I mean, if that comes to PSVR, I'll give it a go. But at the moment, it looks like.
I mean, I'm just excited for the fact by the fact that again, Matt Mercer, favorite voice actor. Obviously, I'm going to be interested.
We then had a look at the Fallout TV series that's coming to Amazon Prime.
Looks better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, the makeup effects on it are quite good. I also like,
especially seeing the power armor there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the look.
Or the mutants did look a bit more red-facey than they would do than they do in the game.
Yeah, I know.
Look like Red Face from Captain America.
Red Skull.
Red Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the guy pointed. I do like that the Space Marine pointed out.
The directors.
Todd Howard and the director in the audience.
Yeah, and Todd Howard just seemed like kind of amused. The director was just like, "I'm gonna fucking murder you after this. Don't fucking point at me."
Switch game getting a free trial. Palia comes out December 14th.
Do not remember that one.
It's the farming looking one. It looks terrible.
Oh, that looks shit.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell! Stop with the farming games, for God's sake.
Then we had a retrospective on the 10 years since No Man's Sky's been announced and all the updates it's had. And fair play to Sean Murray. The team has really done a good job trying to meet the promise that they made initially.
I think they have though.
Yeah,
they've shown like what a good thing, how to like react to all that, to like not doing well, or it's just like, okay, let's not spend all our time trying to make this good. And they've done a good job with it. They've done like what Cyberpunk did later.
I like the fact these studios are not saying a lot of these live service games have done, which is okay, let's just abandon it and move on to the next one. They've said
They've just gone, okay, no, we're gonna make this good now.
We made a promise, let's stick to it and work our asses off to get it done. They've done it, so commendments to you. You've earned my respect back.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, Sean, don't do it again, because you just did. The minute later, they announced their new game, which is their huge open world fantasy game called Light No Fire, and it's apparently like these mountains are going to be the size of real mountains, and this landmass is going to be huge. And like, Sean, prove you can. I'm not sure you're doing it again. If this thing doesn't come out like that,
I feel like I trust them at this point, honestly.
I think I want to still hear from someone they lived up to the promise before I put my money down.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they just what's that? I do feel like they sort of like shown like, no, I'm kind of trusting them to know the scale they're wanting to make the game at. So yeah, I'm just gonna trust them.
So to summarize, you think they've learned their lesson from the No Man's Sky marketing?
I feel like they have to. If they do it a second time, let's be honest, it would just feel like a practical joke.
Yeah. So that'd take another 10 years to fix as well.
Yeah.
I still would like to, as much as Sean Murray's earned my respect back, I'd like to say I'm going to wait on this one, and I want to hear from people saying this absolutely lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm someone who's not massive on like giant open worlds. So yeah, I don't know if I'm even saying like I trust myself, I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up.
Yeah, like the idea of this being a really gigantic open world obviously is going to hold you back in some level, or if you like that. Yeah, but Stormgate, that has early access in summer. I completely
forgot about one.
Yeah, I forgot this one as well, to be honest. I've
already forgotten what it was.
Oh, it's the one that Sam Liu came out to promote. It's that sort of top-down Dota clone.
That one.
Yes. That one.
DLC for Guilty Gear, including the metal character, who looks awesome.
Yeah.
And apparently they're adding a few new modes to it, but Guilty Gear is one that doesn't quite do it for me.
Yeah.
But then we got something for Elliot he liked. Final Fantasy 16, they got 2 DLC coming. Echoes of the Fallen, which dropped after the show, and one that's coming in spring, Rising Tide.
Yeah, they got fucking we just got fucking shadow dropped.
I think it was a good thing they shadow dropped the first one, because I'm wondering how much the audience is going to be there for the second one.
Yeah.
With Rebirth having come out in that time period. But that being said, 16 and Rebirth are very different audiences in other regards. And if people really like Final Fantasy 16, I think they'll come back for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, 16 DLC was one of the main things I wanted.
Oh, by the way, whoever put that trailer together, massive spoilers in this thing for a game that's not even a year old.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months.
All right, I suppose, but even so, I thought they could have.
I feel like most of the people who want to play that game have played that game by this point, honestly.
Yeah, I still think they could have covered a certain character being around in that sequence.
I don't know if they really could hide it, though.
It's a game called Tide. Comes out in spring, apparently. What was... this one completely, I've lost track of what that was about.
I do not remember that one at all.
There was also a shadow drop for the finals, that sort of like multiplayer shooting game where you're competing to get to another round of the shooting game, and it's battle royale to get into another battle royale to get into another battle royale. and this did not look like something that I enjoy. So I'm not going to.
I was confused the entire time. They just kept cutting to different things so often. I don't think I even got a second of gameplay.
Yeah, it was kind of a case of, what was the point of that? What was that?
I'm not affected to flashing lights, and I felt like I was going to have an epileptic fit.
Reese, what about you?
Yeah, it just didn't really do anything for me.
The final trailer, though, absolutely going to do something for Reese, and it was one of the highlights of the night for me as well. They picked a brilliant trailer to end on. Yep. Monster Hunter Wilds, the new open world Monster Hunter game that's going to be a follow-up to Monster Hunter Worlds.
Yep. So this is officially Monster Hunter 6 now. Into the 6th generation.
So this isn't this isn't a sequel to Rise, and this is more world.
Yeah, because at Capcom Monster Hunter Studio, they have 2 teams, A team and B team. A team is the main console, good-looking ones, and the B team does the handhelds like Rise. So this is what A team's been working on as they finish with Iceborne.
So this is the big thing they've been working on since Iceborne.
Yeah.
And I will say, I love the mount that can fly. That thing.
Yeah. So they've taken the Palamute from Rise, but expanded it even more now.
Which was great choice, because I thought the Palamute was one of my favourite parts about Rise.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that they're taking elements from like another one of their games and just I think that's really cool.
All I can say is, you guys, I'm going to get the PS5. I'm assuming we're all getting the PS5 version. We can do some hunts together on that.
I mean, absolutely.
Definitely.
All I can say is, if Nintendo's next system is powerful enough, I think they really should consider making either making a port of this for the new Nintendo console, or let's say the Switch 2 for now.
Yeah.
Or making or at least make another Monster Hunter game for the Switch 2, because I think they really shouldn't underestimate what Nintendo's fan base thinks of Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, because don't forget, even when Rise was only Switch exclusive, it was still the second best-selling Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, it's sold huge, that one.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's only beaten by World.
Yeah, that's right.
World is the best-selling Monster Hunter game, and the most successful one critically as well, because it was nominated for Game of the Year actually in 2018.
Yeah.
Did you vote for Monster Hunter that year, or did you vote?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I see. The thing is, this is not coming till 2025, but they have said they plan to talk about it again in the summer of 2024.
And we'll say more on the Tokyo Game Show as well.
And Tokyo Game Show as well, I think, will be a big factor of it. I think this will come out in March of 2025. I reckon that's where I'm betting that's the release date for it.
Yeah, but a lot of fans like myself also think this could be the first return to underwater combat since Monster Hunter Tri. Because when you look at the logo, it's mirrored underneath. It's like a water's reflection, which no other logo has done that.
That'll be sick, actually.
Yes. One thing I also want, because even Monster Hunter World wasn't able to pull this off, like more than 4 hunters.
Yeah. Because that's always been the limit.
Yeah, I want like massive 1,600 arrays on like one giant Rathalos or something like that. Like, I would be fighting fucking gods.
That did actually happen for the PC game years ago.
Oh, nice.
I love...
yeah, because then we get like a Monster Hunter MMO at one point.
We've had a few of them. One was Chinese exclusive, and that was one few years back that looks amazing. Never came to the West.
That sucks.
I love the fact we've finally found a point where Reese completely comes into his niche.
Yeah. And then the other MMO was the Frontier series, which went for about 20 expansions.
Actually, can I ask something about this, Reese? Because you're the expert on this one.
Sure.
In terms of the dust and the monster we saw at the end, was there any identifiable monsters that we saw, or is there a bunch, or do we reckon there's a bunch of these are all a bunch of new ones that are going to get introduced later?
These are probably just going to be new ones, apart from the Rathalos we saw.
Yeah. Can I be honest for a second?
Yeah.
Even though I really like the look of this game, I'm upset because I heard Calvin say we were getting like a new Capcom game from the 86 franchise, and I was really hoping it was Devil May Cry. I was really hoping we were getting Devil May Cry 6.
I kind of...
And...
we could see crossover DLC, Elliot, because it has happened before.
It's been 5 years. Give me another Devil May Cry. Please don't let there be another gap like there was with DMC 4.
I've heard, knowing Capcom, actually, they've got a bunch of... I mean, to me as well, with Capcom, the other franchise I don't want to forget is Mega Man. Like, I feel like...
I'm fingers crossed hoping that the Devil May Cry Netflix series really pushes Capcom to make another one.
I think Capcom...
Because I want to see what happens after Devil May Cry 5 so much. I want a new game.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on with after Devil May Cry 5. But as well as... so the franchises I'm hoping they'll bring back are Mega Man and Phoenix Wright. I'm hoping those two may come back.
We kind of got one with Phoenix Wright, with the Great Ace Detective.
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, yeah. And,
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, yeah.
And of course, we've got Apollo Justice trilogy coming soon. But I would like a new entry.
Yeah.
But can I also add to the mix as well with the Rathalos at the end? Did the Rathalos look a little different this time to you?
It looks more detailed. They've also upped the saturation on its scales, where it's more deeper red. If you look at the wings specifically, you can tell.
My favourite armour in Rise was the update you got for the Super Rathalos armour.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favourite in the entire game. To such an extent, I made it to be my outer skin, even if so I never would lose it.
Yeah, that's quality of life. That was unique to Rise, where you could always have a layered armour set. I hope that sticks around in future.
I agree, because I liked it. Like, for a while, I wanted to have the Sonic armour I had, so I made that I did that with that one. But... I'll be honest, Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm dead excited to see what they've come up with this time.
Same.
So and I think I'm going to be very excited to see what they'll do in the future. I imagine this is one that after Capcom re-looks at it for sort of like a gameplay demonstration in the summer, we're going to get non-stop like mini trailers and mini presentations of, here's this new monster that's coming in, here's the returning monster that's coming in. You know, like I did with Rise.
Yeah, same.
I imagine that's going to be a thing. And again, I imagine we'll get like a few years of extra content with it. So...
Yeah, because every Monster Hunter game gets at least 1 full year of free DLC.
And
as a minimum.
Yeah.
Rise got 2. How much did Worlds get? They got like 2 or 3, didn't they?
They got the first year, then they got Iceborne as the expansion, and then more free DLC on top of that.
So we've had Iceborne, we've had Sunbreak. Now this one will get that sort of deal again if it's well received.
Yeah, that's basically what's happened in every Monster Hunter game. We get a base game with low rank and high rank, and then we get an expansion, which used to be a separate game later on, to add the G rank equivalents.
So... Oh, God, we can speculate on this all day, but if there's one monster I kind of don't want to come back because it's a bitch to fight, it's Magnum Arlo.
Oh,
I like Magnum Arlo.
It's fun.
I love the design, I love the concept, but it's a bitch to fight.
Did you ever fight its variant at Hunter Rank 100?
Yes, and I'm still crying.
I like to note, folks, Calvin hates anything that has a mild inconvenience to him in games.
Mild inconvenience? It bodied me the first time I tried to fight it.
This is the same guy who complained about the puzzles in God of War Ragnarok.
They're boring and they don't need, and they just work as a distraction on the path. They're not even challenging.
They're fine. They're like not that.
Anyway, we can do this all day. That was the Game Awards. I'll start with you, Elliot. What do you think overall of the presentation? Yeah, I don't know. I have that feeling as well. Reese?
Yeah, very average. Like, there's a few highlights, like we saw, and we just talked about Monster Hunter, but overall, there was a lot of shovelware, I feel like. I
got a feeling that this one was... every year you get a sense of it's whoever's got the biggest paycheck gets the spot. I think, to Elliot's point, this year you felt it more than ever.
It really felt more corporate than any other year, and kind of makes me nervous for the rest of the Game Awards, really.
I am wondering, it is one of those, if it's going to be like this every year now, is it worth us staying up till like 4 in the morning to watch this stuff when we can get all the highlights the next morning and then do a sort of general chat about it?
Yeah. Because the live stream itself was over 3 hours long.
Yeah, there's no need for it to be that long. You can cut an hour off of this and it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, there's so many games you could have cut from this thing.
I think it's I think what Keighley doesn't get, which what E3 did really well, it's all about the games at E3. Like at E3, you just get game after game after game after game. You get brief talks about those games, but it's always about the games. Meanwhile, with Keighley, as I said, it's basically him sucking himself off over all the celebrities he knows and like everyone who he can bring in, where like everyone, which are things that everyone's been complaining about since Game Awards became a thing. They just not fucking listened.
Yeah, because a person on Twitter said that out of the 3 and a bit hours the stream went for, the actual Game Awards itself was under 50 minutes. So all the rest was just adverts and trailers.
See, I'd like it a bit more if every award was on the main stage and they cut down on the trailers.
Same.
So, for example, like I don't even know how he makes decisions. Like best debut indie, the people got on stage, but best indie game, they didn't get on the stage.
And yet, best ongoing game did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how do you think?
So, which I'm shocked, by the way, that it wasn't Final Fantasy 14 that won that one.
Yeah, for like the first year.
First year they haven't won it. Yeah,
actually, for that matter, this might be one of the few years that Genshin Impact didn't win Player's Voice.
Yeah.
I am so glad it lost that one.
It needed to.
All I can say though is Hi-Fi Rush and Octopath Traveler 2 got eliminated in the first round. The people who voted now have no taste.
Yeah, because especially because Armored Core also went out as well.
Oh, by the way, you must be very happy Armored Core won an award.
Yeah, best action game. Hell yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush should have won it, but okay.
Well, that's only because you didn't get far in Armored Core, Cal.
It is
again. Resident Evil 4 didn't win any. That makes me so upset.
Yeah, but to be fair, Elliot, you're going to give it tons of awards when we do our own ones.
I mean, you never know. I'm going to try and make sure, like, do one game per award again.
I'm going to try that one myself, though I may break that rule occasionally. So shall we discuss? Obviously, we don't want to discuss things that weren't here because it's not like a company presentation.
I do have one. What's Jeff? Where's Elden Ring? Where's the Elden Ring DLC?
Can I add one as well after we've
done? I want Elden Ring. I want the Elden Ring DLC so bad. It's been nearly 2 years.
Okay, I'll add one of my own after this, if you don't mind. But like the people saying Nintendo weren't there, I was kind of like, what the hell were you thinking? Why was Nintendo never shows up at this thing? Why do you think they were going to change their mind now?
They only showed up twice, and that was just to like show off a new Smash Bros. Character.
They've only shown off like Smash Bros. Characters or Bayonetta games. It's usually third-party deals they've made that they want to show off.
Yeah.
It's not their first-party stuff. They like to do their marketing on their own terms. So let's Elden Ring DLC though. I think there's room. I still think there's time to show that off. I think we'll see that in the next couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's what Elden Ring came out in February, was it?
February 2021. 22, sorry. February 2022.
Yeah, so it's not even been a full year yet. And there normally is like a year gap, isn't there, Elliot, between the game and their DLC?
There normally is, but like, I mean, this is like longer than I think they normally do it.
You got to remember, Elliot, Elden Ring is a much bigger scope game than Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
Yeah, but I mean, I was just expecting this. I was just expecting to see it because, like, I heard a lot of rumors saying, "Oh, it would show up at the Game Awards."
I will say the podcasts that I was listening to all were very split on Elden Ring's potential appearance here, but I would say I'm not worried about the Elden Ring DLC. I think
I'm not worried about it. I just want it.
The one that
I want to fight 3 Millennials at once.
Please don't. The one I'm a bit disappointed didn't show up, and I'm a little concerned about the development of it is Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah.
It feels a bit weird. We haven't heard anything about that in a year and a half since the last trailer, and this game we're now beyond. We're coming up. I mean, in a few months we'll be at 5 years. In June we'll be at 5 years since reveal, and we'll have had 2 trailers in that time.
Well, in the same time frame, we've also not had Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, but the difference is no one ever thought Elder Scrolls 6. We never saw anything of Elder Scrolls 6. Like, we saw a little bit of Hollow Knight Silksong in everything we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Are you guys concerned about Silksong at this point, or are you not worried about it?
I don't know at this point. As I said, I don't think I've ever really been worried about it. Like, I'm like, I'm normally fine waiting as long as it takes.
I'm happy to wait on it, but I'm at the stage now where I'm kind of like, can you give us at least a little bit of an update about
Just
it?
let us know it's still in development.
Yeah,
I feel like if it was cancelled, we would know by now.
Yeah, you don't think they're going to quietly cancel the game, like just not talk about it?
Well, the first game was a big enough hit. I think fans were expecting a sequel.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be at a stage where they think this game is so big. If we're cancelling it, we've got to get a press release out.
Yeah, otherwise you're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, so I think Silk. So I do want to know though. Will the Game Pass, because it's taking quite a while, is that Game Pass deal still there? Because that must because plagiarism has obviously been a big thing recently. I'm going to state my source here.
Wikipedia.
A modern vintage gamer brought up an interesting point, which was in the podcast he was on, which is that we don't know what Team Cherry's finances are like, and the Game Pass deal. It will have an expiration date on it. They're not permanent. Like it will. It might. We don't know what's in that deal, but it could have something like this deal only comes into fruition if you get your game out in this amount of time. I mean, I was always going to buy Silksong anyway, so it wasn't going to matter. But I really think they need to show something by June. I feel like June's a bit of a now or never moment for them. Like. They don't need to give a release, and I think not necessarily a release date, but I think they need a release window.
Yeah,
like they could say just something like spring 2025.
Yeah, because that's still vague enough. It can be, like January to April.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. They would have enough time then to really cook it properly. And any sort of delay would not be too much at that point.
Yeah.
So that's where I think that needs to be the next step for Silksong. If they don't show up in June in any presentation in any capacity, then I think some journalists have got to start asking Team Cherry some questions at that point.
Yeah, because at that stage it's just Metroid Prime 4 all over again.
So. I mean, after the Game Awards, I'm going to ask you guys both this one. What's your 3 most anticipated games of 2024? I'll start with this one and say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, and I'm going to add Persona 3 Reloaded to it. Reload to that one. I think those 3 are there. Just missing out is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
Reese?
So it might be Final Fantasy VII 2 as well. Tekken 8, because that's in January, so that's a couple of weeks away. And is Hades 2 scheduled for next year?
I think it's scheduled for early access next year.
Actually, that's surprising. I'm surprised we didn't get much from Hades 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Hades 2.
I agree. I think an early access, but again, I think we haven't seen that much of it. A Super Giant Games. I think they know what they're doing. So
yeah, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about them in the slightest.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised we didn't really see anything.
Elliot, what's your most anticipated? Your 3 most anticipated games of next year?
Same as before. Persona 3 Reload, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
It's a. I'd say it's a good. It's been a good year for releases, and it looks like next year is going to start off quite well.
Yeah.
So that's us for this one. We'll be back on next Friday actually for Anime Amigos Best of Fall.
Yep.
Well,
and our Kingsmas episode.
I am looking forward to what Elliot's come up with for Kingsmas.
It's a bit tougher than the other years for me. I won't be honest.
I thought about Elliot's secret plans. Gets all plastered at the Christmas party and gets all permanent tattoos.
I would.
Yeah, that'll be the person just forehead tattoo. I lost at Kingsmas.
I'm gonna have a really hard time explaining this one. I will say actually because I'm doing the Christmas party food. I've got to finish my list by the Wednesday instead of the Thursday this time.
True.
I'm looking forward to doing that one, and then of course we'll be back in the new year with Professional Unprofessional to do our own awards.
Woo!
So thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.